Good morning from SeaWorld Orlando. We're here today because SeaWorld invited us out to do a few tours. And the very first one we're going to do is called the Family Adventure Tour. What kind of stuff are we going to see?
I'm very excited because I think we're going to see some like baby dolphins, some young dolphins, and then there's a few other things. We might meet some Sesame Street friends too. So I think this will definitely be a really great tour for little ones. I'm excited to see what Jackson thinks. So should we head in?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we are headed back to the shark area because we are supposed to do a shark touch. We did get here a little tiny bit late. So the rest of the group is already up there doing the shark touch, and we're going to try to meet up with them. So the thing that should be noted too is that there are school groups here today. So at the front entrance, there are kind of a lot of people around, a lot of school groups moving around, but they go in different areas that are not necessarily guest-facing areas. They might go do back behind-the-scenes tours. So back here in this part of the park, there's not a lot of people. So the name of the tour that we're on is the Family Adventure Tour, and it's about 2 hours long, so it's from 10 until noon. And then we'll have a little lunch break, and then I think we're doing a dolphin encounter tour at like 1:45. So it'll be an action-packed day for sure. So unfortunately, we did miss the first part of this tour, which was at the shark encounter, where everyone else on the tour got to go back into the shark encounter and touch one of the more docile sharks, like a cat shark, a white spotted bamboo shark, or a brown banded bamboo shark. And they got to learn some facts about the sharks and learn how SeaWorld cares for these sharks. All right, so the very first stop is the sea lions. So we're headed over to meet some sea lions. All right, we're headed into Pacific Point Preserve. Back this way, just to the right of Antarctica. Oh, there's a sign here before we see any of them that says SeaWorld has rescued more than 7,000 seals and sea lions. Preventable problems hurt many of them, including pollution and overfishing the food they eat. This one's a seal. The little chubby one is a seal. And the one that's kind of walking backwards there with his head moving around is a sea lion. So this is a harbor seal right here, and this is a California sea lion.
So our tour guide told us that something that makes the California sea lion a little bit different from the harbor seal is that they can stand on their 4 flippers. So do you see him using his front flippers?
Yeah.
That's one of the differences.
Now also, sea lions have ear flaps, whereas like seals just have a hole for their ears. That's the easiest way to tell the difference between them. So they gave us some fish to feed the sea lions, and the sea lions are on their way over. They said the sea lions will be the most vocal ones too. Oh, there's the baby right there. It's just it's on top of the mom over there. Here they come. All right, who wants it? This guy? Right there, right into his mouth.
All right. Can you put your arm out a little further?
Okay, who wants this one? Here we go, right here. Boom, right through you. Here you go. Boom, right into the mouth.
Save one for Jackson. Oh, you can have one of mine.
Okay. Here we go, to the big one in the back.
Whoa.
Boom, got him. Okay, Jackson, you ready to throw a fish? All right, throw it in there. Good job. Here, throw this one. Good job, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
You want to throw another one? Throw it in there.
Wow, they're loving you.
No birds are getting yours. Let's see. Throw it on in there.
Oh, I know. Sorry, you got some fish goo.
Let's see it.
Okay, here
Who are you going to go for?
I think I'm just going to toss it in and see who gets it. Maybe this one.
You got to aim for somebody. Ooh, right into its mouth.
I'm a pretty good sea lion.
Nice work.
Okay, now I'm going to go wash my hands.
Yeah, there isn't like a sink back here for everybody to wash their hands. And the seal came back in. He kind of like moved away when there was all the frenzy that was happening with the feeding, and he's like, I'm back now. Let's see, there's some little ones here. There was a baby one. Oh, right there on the rock with Mama is the baby one. It looks like baby is maybe nursing right now too. What did you think?
That was really cool. I don't think I've ever done that as part of a tour here before, but it was neat seeing Jackson get so excited. But now we're headed over to the Stingray area, and I think we're going to get to touch a stingray. I think it's going to be in a touch pool. Jackson has never done that.
Never?
So I don't think so.
I think we attempted it at Clearwater.
Yeah, but this time I think he's big enough to actually do it. Right. I want to see what he thinks.
So now we made it out of the sea lion area, and we're headed through Antarctica. And we're headed over sort of towards the front of the park, opposite of Manta over there. What do you see, buddy?
Look around, bud.
Pretend ice?
Yeah, he said.
That's right. We're headed underneath Manta, headed towards the Key West section of SeaWorld over here, the South Pier. Headed over to Stingray Lagoon. He says they have about 80 stingrays in there. Oh, looks like we got a bunch of cow nose rays in here. That's what's flying on by. I feel like I remember Jen being afraid of touching the rays.
I I am.
Did you touch it?
Okay. So what are these?
I think they're just sardines.
Just sardines? Okay.
Yeah, look, ready? There he is.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
Alright, you ready? This guy right here is coming for one. Come on in.
Oh my gosh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Got a little wet on my face.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yeah, bud. You definitely can.
Okay, buddy.
He's so brave. I don't even want to touch one, and he's like, I want to feed it. All right, Jackson's gonna feed the fish.
Right here. Just hold on to it.
Oh my gosh,
no,
whoa.
Don't drop it.
Oh no, did he splash you?
Here, just don't throw it in there, just hold it, okay? Keep your hands on it. Oh, he's dropping it.
He does, yeah.
All right, buddy, watch. Watch Daddy, okay? You look. You see how I'm holding it like this? And then I put it in here and look. See? See? Oh, he missed it.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
There are also some sharks over here that you can interact with in the baby section. So this is where the baby cow nose rays are. Look at how fast they are, though.
Can you touch these too?
I think so, yeah.
Well, what are those?
I think that those are the white spotted bamboo sharks.
Oh, okay.
What do you have there, buddy? Those are stingray teeth.
Wow.
A whole row of teeth.
Oh, it's a whole row of teeth. And so their teeth are on a conveyor, very much like sharks, and so they will lose them all the time and get a new one.
Yeah, okay.
So stingrays, like sharks, have their teeth on a conveyor, so they will start in the back as new teeth, and they'll move forward in their mouth, and then when they make it to the front of the mouth, they'll eventually fall out, and they'll be replaced by the teeth behind them. So the feeding is included on the family adventure tour that we're on, but you don't have to be on the tour to feed the stingrays. You can just come up to a window over here and buy a tray of food for $7 tax included, or 5 trays for $25 tax included. And to feed the stingray, you hold the food upright on the bottom of the pool, and the stingray will slurp the food from the top of your hand. So you just place the food in between your fingers, and the stingray will come along and slurp it up. And so after the rays, we came over to the dolphin encounter area. We're gonna meet some dolphins.
All right, so while we're waiting to meet the dolphins, so this is part of the Family Adventure Tour, while we're waiting to meet them, we learned a couple of cool facts from one, who's our tour guide, about some dolphins that were rescued here at Seaworld Orlando. So there was a hurricane last year in Louisiana called Hurricane Ida, and there were some dolphins that were stranded after the hurricane. They were rescued by Seaworld Orlando, brought here and rehabilitated, and after a few weeks, they actually released them back into the wild. So that's something that Seaworld does that's really amazing.
Now we are leaving this area and we're headed over to Sesame Street to get front of the line access to a few meet and greets with some monsters. Very excited, maybe we'll get to see Cookie Monster. As we were passing by, I did also want to mention that there is a Build-A-Bear workshop here at SeaWorld Orlando. And I think they have some exclusive SeaWorld Build-A-Bears, like this shark. Build-A-Shark. Headed back towards Sesame Street land, just passing by Icebreaker. Last launch, up and over. Ooh, they're running it empty right now. Interestingly enough, I feel like that's just because they didn't have anybody to put on the train, not because there's anything wrong with the ride or anything going on. All right, now we're headed into Sesame Street land. Gonna meet some monsters. All right, we made it back into Sesame Street land. Not a lot of people back here, but we're headed into the Sesame Street Theater here where we can meet Elmo and friends. We're gonna need some photos with Elmo and friends. Jackson, you wanna go give Elmo a hug? Go give Elmo a hug. Oh, that was adorable. Look at you, buddy. Look at you, I'm hugging Elmo.
So is this your dressing room, Elmo? Or is this where you get ready for the day? How you brush your hair? And see, he does everything that you do. Wow. Look at that face. You just can't even believe that he's real, huh? He's here.
Right? Is it okay if I take a photo with you and Elmo, Jackson? How about Grover?
Do you remember when you rode Grover's roller coaster? You do?
You want to go give Grover a big hug?
Grover?
Woo!
Yeah.
Tall enough to ride it. Grover built a roller
meet you.
Grover hug too? Oh goodness! Oh, that's a good hug. I love it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Do you remember seeing Grover on TV? Yeah? Are you dancing? You showing him?
It's a little you, Grover.
Wow.
A little baby.
I love that. I think we'll have to get that for you, huh?
So with that meet and greet, that was the actual end of the family adventure tour. So now we're just kind of walking around on our own, and we're gonna go meet Julia, which is exciting because she is a character with autism from Sesame Street.
And she has Fluffster with her today.
Yeah.
Julia's friends with Elmo and Abby, and she does things in her own Julia sort of way. She's visiting her Autism Acceptance Month this month.
Oh my goodness, Jackson.
And so Julia's here for
how
Autism
special.
Acceptance Month.
Can you say
She's
hi?
got Fluffster, and Jackson has his little football.
He wants
Yeah.
to show you his football.
Oh my goodness, he's carrying around a soft football like you have your Fluffster.
Look, there's Fluffster, Jackson. She's showing you Fluffster.
Oh my goodness,
Do
how
you
cool.
like your Fluffster toy? It looks like you're a big Cookie Monster fan, huh? He's
Can I
pretty
see
funny, right?
Fluffster? Oh wow, very cool. Thank you for showing him to me.
She loves to
And
smile
so-
with Fluffster facing the camera too, because he has a permanent smile.
That's true. Yes, that's a good smile.
Yeah.
Can we take a picture right here with you? Okay.
Whoa.
Can we stand right here and take a picture with Julia? Okay.
So Julia is a character on Sesame Street with autism, and right next to where she's at, there is a quiet room for those people with sensory issues to kind of escape from the excitement of Sesame Street Land. And Seaworld is a certified autism center. And the quiet room is right next to the baby care center. For lunch, we're headed back past Infinity Falls over here to the Waterway Grill. Never eaten here, kind of excited. It looks delicious. Today's menu is fresh salads and grilled meats. Yes, I think this is what I'm gonna get, a chimichurri steak. It's kind of delicious. So we made it over to the Waterway Grill, but our next tour, we have to meet them in a half an hour. So it is a little bit long of a line for us. I don't think we'd be able to make it through and eat before having to go to the next tour. So I think because we have to meet over for the tour, and that's happening very soon, we're gonna stop off over here at the Mama's Pretzel Kitchen. Just grab some pretzels, maybe a hot dog pretzel or pepperoni pretzel. Which one do I want? It is the Lunch of Champions. 3 hot dogs wrapped in pretzel. Yeah, and they're burnt. I love a good burnt hot dog. We got some chips too, and some salted pretzel bites with a beer cheese dipping sauce.
They have a regular cheese too, but this was beer infused cheese. These look really good.
Yeah?
I want to have this with like a little chicken nugget in it.
Oh, that
You know,
sounds
wouldn't that be
delicious.
good?
Yeah.
Let's see, let's try it. The cheese is a little watery.
Still tastes pretty good.
Pretty okay. It's not hot.
So now that we're all done with lunch, we're headed to another tour, and that's the Dolphin Up Close Tour. So this is similar to the one that we did earlier, but a little bit different, a little bit longer.
Well, and I think you get a chance to feed the dolphin in this tour.
Okay.
I believe that's what she said. But let's go and check it out.
I am smelling like fish today.
I think they're gonna love us.
On our way over to the next tour, we are passing by this yet unnamed construction project, but we did see that they have started taking delivery of roller coaster tracks, the B&M roller coaster tracks. So we're thinking that the rumor of it being a B&M surf coaster is probably 100% true. So we met for the Up Close Dolphin Tour underneath the Sky Tower. Right here at this area here is where we checked in. So basically any tour that you sign up for, this is where you're gonna meet, at Sky Tower Island, right at that booth that I showed you. Except for the Family Adventure Tour we met in front of the park. So we are headed over to the Dolphin Nursery. We're gonna have some up close interactions with some dolphins.
Here in the Dolphin Nursery, we have one of the few babies that we have in the park. One of the youngest one is Amber. She's over almost a year and a half old. She's in here with her mom as well.
She's the mama of baby Spark who lives in here. He just turned 2 last month. So she's an awesome dolphin. This is her first cat. And she actually lives in here with her sister and her own mom. So we have 3 generations in here. We have Tasha with a T, her daughter Sasha, and then Sasha's son Spark. How old is Tasha? Tasha is 32 years old. Yeah. So she is one of the oldest females in our care. Our oldest dolphin overall is a male. If you saw the dolphin show, it's Starbuck.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So Tasha is awesome. She has a really big personality, lots of fun. So that can be for you, little friend, whenever it's time to start.
This is Sasha.
So Sasha is lots of fun. You want to play a game with her? Let's see if she can play follow the leader. So you're going to do something, and she's going to do the same. Take 2 cans and wave. Wow! Now let's try another one. You know how to spin in a circle? Let's spin in a circle. Ready? Spin! Wow! That was really good! Wow! Look at that crazy tongue. I wish stick your tongue out at you.
Did you see that?
Where's your tongue?
Oh, look at that tongue.
And your tongue and your spinning.
She has her tongue out the whole time. Oh, Jackson's spinning too. I think my favorite thing about this is how kids get excited about marine mammals and marine wildlife.
Big guy. Whoa. Wow. 1, 2, 3. Go, Dolphins! Oh my goodness.
Whoa! Whoa!
Nailed it.
Good job.
Now you want to hear some other silly sounds she can make? You want to do one more? Good job. Okay. Wow. You want to do another fish?
Oh man. So Jackson's loving giving Sasha fish.
Big one?
He's giving her, I'll have to find out what kind of fish. It looked bigger than a sardine for sure. Okay.
Dolphins get the water they need from the fish they eat. So the blood of the fish, that's their hydration.
Oh wow.
They obviously can't drink salt water.
Right.
So that's why they swallow all the fish whole, because the blood is their glass of water.
Oh
now,
wow.
The other big ones, these are called herring. It has a lot more fat, a lot more protein. So that's going to be what helps her keep her weight on.
And the other fish was called a capelin?
A capelin.
Capelin.
So dolphins can also eat smelts and squid and other fish like that. Yeah, very good.
Wow.
Whoa. That's an awfully big fish. I've never seen a fish so big. You've seen a fish so big? I never have.
Wait, bye-bye.
Awesome. I'm going to throw her her last fishies.
All right, we're back over here at Tower Island for another tour. This one is called the Rescue Tour. So this one should be about all kinds of different aspects of how SeaWorld rescues animals and rehabilitates them. I'm excited for this one because one of my favorite things about SeaWorld is how many animals they help throughout the year. So we get to see some animals that they are rehabilitating and that they're helping backstage, I think, back in the rehabilitation areas. We'll find out. All right, so we made it over here by Turtle Trek, and we're headed back to the rescue gate over here to head back behind the scenes. We're actually just kind of like right behind Dolphin Cove. They have some graphic here that says year-to-date animal rescues, and they update it constantly. So even this early in the year, in April, they have 30 manatee rescues, 1 sea turtle, and 17 birds. SeaWorld just built these 4 rehabilitation tanks, and that increases their capacity from 45 to 50 manatees at one time that they could house and care for.
When we see turtle in here, that is about the size, adult size of them. So they are a smaller species. That's only the second one this year. Typically we don't get a whole lot because we are a lot further away from the coast.
Right over here, behind this little manatee statue, we've got one of their rescue boats. This one's the high-speed chaser that they would use to help rescue dolphins. And then right next to it, they have a trailer with a mobile aquarium on it they could use to transport any injured sharks or anything like that. If you remember, a little while ago in the news, there was a story about how a truck full of sharks crashed on the side of the highway. And there were sharks everywhere. SeaWorld was the one that went out there and helped collect the sharks and make sure that they were safe and cared for. And this is one of the units that they used, is this little mobile aquarium. This is where they do all of the water testing for all of SeaWorld right there. You can see all the little vials. So that there's somebody here 24 hours a day. If anything happens with the water, they're there to make sure that it is fixed right away. I have all kinds of different sections over here. They got microbiology, they got research, they got hematology, they got blood chemistry, and then over here they got basic water chemistry. So the very first section was all about the macro water chemistry. And then over here, you've got just the basic water chemistry. So they start out with the basic, and then they move over to the more advanced water chemistry. They have an aviary here for rehabilitating the birds. They said that, of course, birds are the most plentiful, and they're the most varying in species. So these are the things that they get most often is birds, because they do get hit by cars and things like that. They said they have a sandhill crane back here too, and this is a spoonbill that we're looking at right now. Oh, here's some interesting numbers. 18 birds rescued so far, 5 returned, and 227 rescued in 2021. They have a Gopher Tortoise over here that is a rescue that they're hoping to rehabilitate and return back to the wild. Over here they have a specific cooler just for the lettuce that they feed the manatees. So if they have 30 manatees here, they feed them 109 cases of romaine lettuce. So this entire cooler is stacked floor to ceiling with lettuce just to feed the manatees. Each manatee will eat about 100 to 200 pounds of lettuce each day. Wow. So this is the filtration just for the manatee habitat right here. All of these gray cylinders just for the manatees. So we're actually going up to the manatee rehabilitation and rescue holding area. So this is the graduation pool. This is where they move them to after the treatment pool, to where they are just waiting approval from Florida Fish and Wildlife to release them back into the wild. Because SeaWorld's not the one that makes that decision. It's Florida Fish and Wildlife will come in and say, yeah, you can release them, or no, you can't. These are the most common injuries or reasons that manatees need human intervention. Boat strikes, cold stress, entanglement, and orphaned calves. And things that we as humans can do to help them or prevent that. So slow down during no wake zones, report injured manatees, recover fishing gear and recycle the fishing line, and then report, if you see any orphan calves, report that to Star FMP. So these are the orphan calves.
They're going to spend
SeaWorld
about
has
3 to 4
helped.
years here, get up to about 600 to 700 pounds before they all return. We do have 2 large adult females in here. Sarah, who was rescued in 1986, she's about 2,800 pounds, actually closer to 2,900 pounds right now. They act as surrogates for them, kind of when the orphans do come in, because they are adult females, they have those maternal instincts that they can not necessarily going to nurse, they're not going to produce that milk, but they can attach the mammary glands to get that same nutrient. It helps raise the calves when they are spending their time here.
They said that there is nothing medically wrong with these animals, but they were separated from their mother at an age that was too young for them to be able to survive. Look, these 2 manatees are just hugging each other. How adorable is that? All right, so that's the conclusion of that tour. It's a very educational tour. I really enjoyed it. You go backstage, you don't see a lot of the animals. We saw one turtle and then we saw the manatees, but you do get to see all of the different facilities that they use to care for the animals, the ways that they care, how advanced their care is here at SeaWorld Orlando, the different ways that they can go out and help animals in the wild, and things that you can do to help the animals that are injured or animals that need to come to SeaWorld. He did tell a really interesting story on the tour that blew my mind. There was a pod of killer whales and they couldn't quite figure out why they weren't doing so good, because they were just out in the wild and they weren't doing so well. And so they came to SeaWorld Orlando because SeaWorld is the only place that knows everything about the killer whales in their care. So every killer whale here at SeaWorld, they know the lineage, they know what they eat, they know everything about it. They're very monitored. And so they kind of compared the killer whales here to the ones that were out not doing so good in the wild, and they couldn't quite figure out what was going on. And so what they decided to do is they decided to look at the fecal matter, and they trained dogs here at SeaWorld Orlando to recognize killer whale poop. The dogs got so good at it, they could be anywhere in the park and they could alert their trainers as to when a killer whale across the park pooped. And so what they did is they brought those dogs out on the boats and kind of followed the pod around, and the dog's like, oh, killer whale down there just pooped, and the rescuers would quick get on their scuba gear, dive down, collect the sample of the poop, and come up and analyze it. And they found out that the killer whales in the wild were eating a lot of plastics. It might not have been just like straight up plastics. Maybe the fish that they were eating a lot of plastics. Anyway, you look at it, the whales were just like ingesting a lot of plastics. And so they were able to understand the situation of this killer whale pod that wasn't doing so good. Plastics is a hard thing to fix. So like the only way to do that is for us to stop using single-use plastics. But yeah, at least they were able to like identify the problem with the help of the killer whales here at SeaWorld Orlando. So there you have it. That was our trip to SeaWorld Orlando to go on 3 separate tours. We did the Family Adventure Tour, we did the Dolphins Up Close Tour, and then we did the Rescue Tour. All 3 were fantastic. We got actually a lot of pictures between the first 2. The Dolphin Up Close Tour, I think the photographer took about 80 pictures during it. Now, you don't get the pictures included in the cost, those are extra, but with our annual pass, 1 day a year, you can get a photo pass or a photo key card for that day. So in today's case, I used my 1 day a year with my annual pass to get the photo key card and ended up walking away with 135 photos from today of Jackson meeting Elmo, Jackson meeting Grover, us interacting with the dolphins at the Dolphin Up Close Tour, and also us interacting with the dolphins during the Family Adventure Tour. Like, it was fantastic. I love a good photo, and SeaWorld delivered with that today for sure. It was really good. All 3 tours I really enjoyed. If you're interested in doing any of these tours, we'll put a link in the description down below to SeaWorld's website where you can check on the tours, check on their costs, and check on their availability for maybe when you're coming to stay here. Wanted to say thank you to SeaWorld for having us out. Really enjoyed all 3 tours, and with that being said, we are off. We'll see y'all tomorrow. And now it's time to pay the price.